Why am I so pissed off? Really, I could think of several reasons why I'm pissed off. The most recent reason is because the way how divided society is off of a presidential election. That shit is absurd to me. Left wing, right wing, same motherfucking bird. It's the same bird. Left wing, right wing, it's the same motherfucking bird. I'm so pissed off because people are just so easily deceived. People are so easily riled up. People are easily emotional without using logic. Especially when it comes to things like the presidential election. Now, of course, Donald Trump, he won the election, which is funny because The Simpsons, the cartoon, predicted that years and years ago prior to him winning. They predicted he was going to become the president in 2024. The Simpsons, the cartoon, predicted that Trump was going to become the president in 2024. How the fuck would they know that if there's not some kind of elite people behind the show who knows information before it's going to happen, who knows the future before it plays out? You know what that's called? You know what that's called? That's called predictive programming. And the reason why I'm so pissed off is because the masses, they fall for the bullshit every fucking time. They fall for the bullshit every fucking time. I don't identify, to be real with y'all, like, it's 300 to freedom. You already know it's 300 to freedom. That's what I identify with. But I don't identify as a Democrat or a Republican. At least not anymore. When I was younger, I identified as a Democrat because, of course, most of my family was Democrats. So I identified with that because of that reason, just because I wasn't old enough to do my own research. I wasn't old enough to do my own digging to understand what's going on out here. But I'm so pissed off at how easily hoodwinked, how easily tricked the masses are, yo. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. There's certain things with Donald Trump's policies that I agree with, and there's certain things with his policies that I disagree with. For example, keep it real with you. I disagree with Donald Trump's policy giving the police department, the police, full immunity, where they have no responsibility or no accountability for any wrongdoing. I disagree with that type of policy. And the same with the Kamala policies that she was talking about, which I find that a lot of Kamala's policies are centered around just focusing on how bad Trump is instead of her clearly setting out to the public what she plans to do to help society. But there's things I agree with in Kamala's policies, and there's things that I disagree with as well. But people be so deceived. Like, if you look at the way how, I just be so baffled at the same time, right? I'm baffled at how the media, like most of the media, basically destroys Donald Trump. They attack him constantly to the point where they do it to the point where it actually benefits him. They do it to the point where it actually makes him have more supporters because of how much they hate this dude so much. And I'm always watching it and I'm always confused because I'm saying, since when is Trump the fucking responsible for all black people's problems? Since when Trump is responsible for slavery? Since when Trump is responsible for white supremacy? Since when Trump is responsible for these things? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if we really look back in how America was built, if we look back to how America came to be, if we really, even in Christopher Columbus, supposedly discovering America, that's all bullshit because there is people already here. That's bullshit because there is people already here. Indians were here. Indians were here. That's bullshit. How the fuck can you discover a place that people already live in? You get what I'm saying? So if you look at the way in which America was really built off criminalistic activities. America was built off criminalistic activities. If you do your research and you check the past and you study your history, you would know that America was built off criminalistic activities. As much as America may give you the illusion that you have so much power as the people, you're supposed to be a bureaucracy, that ain't really what it is. That ain't really what it is. It's the illusion of a bureaucracy, but it ain't really what it is. That's not really what it is. Drop a comment below. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Share this video with 5 people you know. But I'm so pissed off because I can't believe that we're in the 21st century and people are still being deceived. Another case in point is how all of this support, all of these celebrities came out. I mean, everybody, like predominantly all these celebrities, these big name celebrities, they came out to endorse Kamala Harris. And yet and still, after all of that Democratic noise that we seen sweeping through Instagram, that we seen sweeping through Facebook, that we seen sweeping through social media, all this Democratic support, oh, you better vote Kamala, because if you don't vote Kamala, you're not black, and you don't care about your black people, and you're not this, and you're not that, and you're not this, and you're not that. Since when the fucking presidential candidate gave a fuck that much about your life? Since when any of them motherfuckers gave a fuck that much about your life? Since when? Since when? Since fucking when? You mean to tell me that's what you waiting on being your savior? You mean to tell me you waiting for a presidential elect to be the one to change your motherfucking life? You mean to tell me you don't have the power it takes to fucking make the decisions? You don't feel like you have more control over your damn life than a fucking presidential elect? And that's why I'm pissed off, because it's like, yo, since when we gave them so much fucking power? Since when we gave them so much fucking, like they the savior or some shit? Come on. Come on. Come on. And after all of this Democratic support that we seen sweeping through social media, all of this Democratic support, I find it very funny how yet and still Kamala did not win. Not that I expected her to. It wasn't written for her to win. It wasn't in the plans for her to win. It wasn't in the plans for her to win. That's why predictive program, that's why The Simpsons predicted that Donald Trump was going to win the 2024 election. Because it was already written. It was designed to be that way. All y'all motherfuckers who went out there to vote, all y'all motherfuckers basically wasted y'all time. That's basically what it is. That's basically what, when we look at this shit for what it is, y'all all went out there and voted and y'all wasted y'all time. Now, it would have been nice to have a black woman president for the first time, but why the fuck, what? I just don't understand. To me, right? If we want to talk about black power, and if we want to be so focused on black power, and yeah, for blacks, cool, right? As a black man myself, right? For me, once you trying to become an elected president, in my eyes, and you a black woman or a black man, and your one of your main focuses and one of your main policies ain't about protecting black lives, right? Like you passed the law to protect Asians. If you don't have a focus to protect black lives, as well as a focus to give us reparations, then I know that your ass really ain't for me. I know that you really, that black power horse and mountain that you standing on, I know that it's not genuine. I know that it's not 100%. I know that you're not 100% real. The minute you get up on that stage and you a black presidential candidate and you not talking about 2 things, passing a law to protect black lives, as well as making it so that we get reparations, I already know you working for the system. I already know you a puppet for them. You're not a puppet for us. Don't ever get it twisted for 1 second. Kamala is a fucking white supremacist. Kamala is a white supremacist. Let's be real. Let's be honest. And I know that may sound crazy to say. I know some of y'all are watching this video and you're like, how the fuck can she be a white supremacist if she's black? What kind of man is she fucking married to? Huh? What kind of man is Kamala Harris married to? Huh? You want to talk about black power and black excellence so much and stand up on a fucking mountain like you gonna be the black savior? What kind of man is that woman married to? You think that man she married to, you think his life is devoted to fucking giving black people their power and giving black people their acknowledgement and helping black people to become equal to the Caucasian male or the Caucasian race? You think that's what the fuck he's there to do? You think that's what his lifelong calling and purpose is to do? Let's be fucking serious. Let's wake up. Let's wake up. Let's wake up and smell the coffee. For me, when I look at that imagery and I look at that marriage, to me, optics matter. Optics matter. I'm not saying that you can't be fighting. I'm not saying you can't want the best for black people just because of who you're married to. But if you are standing on the mountain of black power, if you are standing on the mountain of being representative of black excellence in these things, the optics matter. I'm going to expect to see a black family unit. I'm going to expect to see a black family unit. That's just me personally. It would feel very weird for me as a black man to fight for those things in a very high position. Let's say I'm in a high position, high enough to become the president. It'll be very weird for me to fight saying that I'm for the black people and I'm for my race and I'm for black excellence, but yet and still my motherfucking wife is white. My wife being white, that would kind of, it would kind of contradict my message and my purpose. That's what I'm saying. The optics matter in that situation. Once again, I'm going to ask you, who the fuck is she married to? And once you have the answer to that question, all right then. I don't want to hear this bullshit about, you should vote for her just because she's a black woman. You should vote for her to be the president because, You really think she for you? That's what you think she fighting for? For you to come up as a black woman and a black man? That's what you think? Now, I'm not going to say I don't think she wants the best for black women. I think she does. I honestly think she does. But the black race as a whole, the optics. It's the optics for me. The optics. So I'm so pissed off because literally we are divided based on a fucking presidential election. We are divided because of a presidential election. And we're also divided because the media likes to take a lot of things out of context that people say and they like to put a spin on it. And that literally brainwashes the masses. That's why they call it propaganda, right? Propaganda is when they want you to see something a certain way when that's not the truth of the matter. It's basically when you manipulate information. Which person have we seen them manipulate the most information with? Donald Trump. In the past, 8 years, we've seen the most information manipulation done really to him. If we're being honest and we're not being biased, if we're being honest, we can say that, right? Like, for example, I've heard people say, he said that Puerto Rico is a land of garbage. But then I'm a realist, right? So I went and I checked out the video and come to find out he never said that about Puerto Rico. The comedian that was at his rally said that about Puerto Rico. Why y'all lying? I can't make up some shit. Me personally, I can't live my life making up some shit like it happened when I know if it didn't happen. Now, if he did say it, he did say it. I've heard him say other things. I've heard him diss his own race. I've heard him diss people of his own kind. I've heard him say a lot of bad things about white people as well. I've heard him say bad things about Mexicans. I've heard him say bad things about the Chinese. I've heard him say bad things. I've heard him say bad things about a lot of different groups of people, including his own kind of people. Personally, if I'm being honest, right? But it's funny how he said that about Puerto Rico, meanwhile he never did. So why y'all lying? But that guy's at the rally, so if he feels that way, then Trump must feel that way. That ain't fucking necessarily true. That ain't necessarily true. That's not. I might have some people come on my YouTube video to talk and give their opinions. That don't mean that's how I feel. That's what they saying. And he even said it. He did a video. There's a video on YouTube where Trump even said, he said, I love Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico loves me. He said, I will always love Puerto Rico. He said, I can't control what a comedian says. He said, that guy's a comedian. He's going to say stuff for shock value. He said it himself. And then, but when people twist words and they make shit up, that's why I be pissed off. And this is not to say that there aren't things about Kamala that I like. I think Kamala is excellent as far as what she was able to accomplish and as far as how far she was able to go. I think that's commendable what she's been able to do. I think she's a brilliant woman for that. I think she's a brilliant woman for the simple fact of even getting that far. People don't understand how powerful you have to be as a black woman to even get that far to become a presidential candidate. It's not like she's Michelle Obama, who had a husband that was already a president. Her husband was never a president. But yet and still, she got far enough to battle against Trump, right? So you got to respect that. I got to tip my hat to that woman for that. I got to tip my hat to that woman for that. But all in all, overall, I don't trust none of these motherfuckers. If you want me to be real with you, I don't trust none of these motherfuckers. It's 300 to freedom, yo. It's 300 to freedom. We gonna keep it real. If you a truth speaker and a truth seeker, rock with the team, yo. Get a part of the team, yo. I'm telling you right now, if you're a truth seeker and a truth speaker, get a part of the team. I don't trust none of them motherfuckers. Left wing, right wing, same motherfucking bird. Left wing, right wing, same motherfucking bird. All they do is incite division among the people, use our emotional energy to get their agenda passed through and to move on with the agenda. You know what I'm saying? And literally this type of shit is breaking up friendships, is breaking up families, it's breaking up societies. It does a lot of damage because of left wing, right wing, and all that bullshit. Now, like I say, there's things on both sides that I agree and disagree with. But at the end of the day, if you a black person, if you're a black powerful individual and you are about to be a presidential elect, right? You're a presidential candidate. If you're not passing the law, if your policies ain't about passing the law to protect the black people, and you ain't mainly focused on getting reparations for the black people, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That's just my perspective. I don't want to hear it. I already know once you're not on that type of time, I already know you're not really for us like you say you are. I already know you just a puppet and just a face, and you're going to be controlled by the strings. You're going to be controlled by the elites. I already know that. So until you find a fucking black presidential elect that's talking about those two things, miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with trying to guilt trip me with my perspectives and the way I'm a realist. I'm going to call it as I see it. I ain't going to make up some shit if I ain't see some shit happen, right? I could also say that Donald Trump was one of the few elitists who I seen rubbing shoulders with black people from mad long ago, mad years ago. I ain't never see Biden rubbing shoulders with no black people to that degree in the past, in the 70s and 80s and all that. I ain't never see that in the 90s. I ain't never see that. Trump was rubbing shoulders with black people way before he was even a president. And that's a fact. That's not a lie. You can look up those pictures. That's not actually a lie. That's not actually a lie. Now, do I feel like he still holds his white people supreme over black people? Yes, I do, of course. I do still feel he does that. But at the same time, if we're talking about racism and we're talking about a racist individual, those aren't characteristics of a true racist individual. Not to say that the people he rubs shoulders aren't racist, not to say that. But what I am saying is I see my man's in pictures with black people, black celebs, black iconic people for many years. He's been doing that. For many years he's been doing that. And a lot of black people was fucking with him before he became a president and before he ran for president. Some of them, they switched up after he became president. Like I said, I ain't never see Joe Biden rub shoulders with that many black people before. Ice Cube said it himself. He said the Trump administration was willing to speak to him. Ice Cube said it himself. He said the Trump administration was willing to sit down, have a talk with him, at least answer some of his questions. He said the Biden administration didn't even respond to him. They ain't even look his fucking way. They ain't even give him the fucking time of day. He said it himself. That's what Ice Cube said himself. And you know Ice Cube is a real dude. For the most part, Ice Cube is a real dude. Keep it 100, right? For him to say that, I think that says a lot. But yet and still, people be so fucking confused by the smoke and mirrors. People be so fucking deceived, and that's why I be pissed off. There's a lot of other things I be pissed off about, but we're going to talk about that in other videos. But this is just some of the things. Like, people just are so easily tricked. They feed into the bullshit, and they don't even realize that they feed into hating somebody so much to the point where it actually makes that person bigger and makes that person more relevant. There's much more important things to focus on than Donald Trump being the fucking president. And like I said, I'm not a Democrat, nor am I a Republican. And if you want to be fucking technical, the Republican Party was started by black people. If you want to be technical about that, originally. The Republican Party was started by black people and by people who wanted to end slavery and by people who wanted to end basically the wrongdoing of the black race, if you want to be technical about that. So I think knowing history is very, very important. But yeah, that's what I have to say. I'm gonna see you on the next video. Peace.